All right, we's back. Part two. Well, like I was telling you, this is going to be, I'll probably do one more part to this one. This is round two, basically, of the slave mentality, how you can detect it and how you can kind of deflect it. That's something we need to be working on. You know what I mean? As people who have been traumatized and passed down trauma through bullshit because of some slavery ass bullshit, which, at some point, you know, you're going to have to face your own self, whoever the fuck you are. And before I really, really, really get into it, I do want to actually go over some different shit as well for later, as far as biracial uh, people, as far as black and white. So if you had a black mama, white daddy, or a black daddy and a white mama, how was that as far as dating? If you've dated both, you know what I mean, white or black, if you dated outside of that, how is that? Because I do feel like what I have heard, um, and I've only met a few. It's not like I said I know a whole lot of people that are mixed, uh, but the ones that I have spoke to about certain things, they told me how they grew up, and it was just like shit, either they felt more black or they felt white or whatever, whatever their situation was individually, and they did what they did with, I guess, whichever side they lean towards. You know what I mean? I guess. So if you and when I say black, I mean the culture, as far as the style, the music, the hairstyles and shit, the speech. You know what I mean? Because not saying that you talk white if you don't say certain things or talk a certain way, but if you don't grow up with the slang, with the culture, with that shit, and you can grow up in the hood and don't have that shit. It's shit. It's motherfuckers who didn't care about that shit, and it is what it is. But what I'm saying is, if you are both, like I said, if one of your parents is one thing, black, white, you know what I mean, and you grew up feeling a certain way, like if you felt more into the culture of black people or not. You know what I mean? Just depending on who you are, where you came up, because it really does depend on where you grow up. Because some people didn't grow up around black people and black culture. Some people only seen that shit on TV. Some people never seen that shit. Some people don't know about that shit until they see it in real life, or today. You know what I mean? It's just it's a wide situation in America. And I know I'm getting off topic just a little bit, but and I also want to talk about, like I said, these are going to be later. These are going to be later series. But what I also want to talk about is, if you are biracial and you've only dated one side, would you be willing to date the other side? Is there a, I'm trying to see how I want to say this. Is there a stigma, I guess? Because I have heard with the Spanish culture that a lot of their parents have told them specifically, don't date black people. I mean, I've heard it. I've heard it a lot. So I'm trying to think who else I've heard say that. Maybe the Asian, maybe the Asian culture. I might have heard that once, but I've heard it more in the Spanish culture. They specifically say don't date black. And, coming up in a household where one of your parents, you know what I mean, happen to be black and one of them happen to be white, would that have been said? And also, to the ones that their parents did some said some racial shit, and you heard it as a child. I mean, you got to think about that. That's not been every interracial marriage or couple, situation, but to the ones that have, like your mama or your daddy, that said some fucked up shit, some racial shit, and you a child and you heard that shit, and you're both right. So how do you internalize that shit? You know what I mean? If you're black and you're white, and one of your parents say you do some racial shit, and they might divorce, whatever, blah blah. How the fuck? Like, and has anyone ever explained? Like, has your parents ever explained that shit? You know what I mean? Like that would be a hell of a conversation right there. Like, you personally heard your mama say some shit. You personally heard your daddy say some shit, and that affected you. It had to, some type of way. So how does that? You know what I mean? So that's what I would like to. That's one of the things I'd like to talk about, because everybody has their own situation. They come up their own way, and if you did get to grow up in the black community, because we got our own shit, and it's different from white people, and it's different from Indians. Everybody's culture is different. Wherever the hell you grew up is going to be different. Even in the black experience, of course, every hood different. Every neighborhood is different. Every wherever you grew up, you know what I mean, it's gonna be different. Every situation ain't gonna be the same in every area, but a lot of shit might be. There might be a lot of shit that we as black people collectively sometimes only have to speak about it. Just know the unwritten, unsaid rules and shit. So that's just, like I said, that's just, the black experience is something that I love, and I love to talk about it, because it's just it's so dynamic. It's so much shit. It's so many people. It's so many. There are black people who don't even identify as black, but they darker than me. They black as shit. And I ain't talking about people from different countries. I'm talking about, I know they mom and I know they daddy, but they don't identify as black. And when I say black, however whatever motherfuckers calling themselves this year, right? Because we done went from Negro, everything, right? African American, whatever you want to call yourself, if you melanated, if you affected by the sun in a good way, and that sun loves your ass. That's what I'm talking about. Now, black people got all different types of textures of hair depending upon where you from. So yeah, not all black women wear weaves and shit, wigs and shit, but not all black women hair is gonna be straight either. For the ones that are, or guys, and I'm talking about the ones that ain't like mixed. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about motherfuckers just black. So we're dynamic in so many different ways. And I know some of the shit that I'm gonna say gonna piss some people off and offend you. And if it do, I mean, hey, it just do. Shit, let's talk about it. Get me corrected. Because at the end of the day, I'm not perfect. We all trying to learn out here, but I'm just giving you my experience and the shit that I've heard, the shit that I've seen, and the shit that I've been a part of. And it's been some bullshit for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I've heard and seen, it's ridiculous. It's like, how do you really believe that shit? Because I know somebody might have told you that. You might have got passed down this and that. And no, black people ain't no monolith. We ain't all the same. Of course we not. But for what I'm saying is, from the ones that grew up in a certain environment, in a certain situation, they got a certain code, got a certain swag, whatever the fuck you want to call it, got a certain about you. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. Those, they do. Like I said, some black people don't want to admit it. They don't want to come from it. They want to relinquish it. They want to get away from it. Whatever stimulates you to do that. And then, of course, there are some black people who never grew up around black people. They never got to experience that. Like I said, they might have just saw it on TV. You know what I mean? On the internet. You know? So the black experience, especially with the slave mentality, can cause, because if you're passing that shit down and you keep passing that shit down, and it could be, I guess, labeled as depression, trauma, stress, all that shit, man. I've heard elders say the most fucked up shit. And when I got older, I was like, man, come on, man. That shit. I have heard elders say the shit that I told y'all last time. She looked good for a black woman, a dark woman, whatever the fuck. I've heard some of this shit I don't even feel like repeating right now. But you know what? We're going to have the conversation. Because at the end of the day, some of these things are still going on. You know, some black people really do hate the fact that they are what they are. And that's black. And when they beating on their child or punishing their child, they call them names. You ugly black motherfucker. You sick, stupid black. All that stupid ass shit that impacts a young mind. Right? Because black has always been a negative thing, pretty much, throughout this history of what we call America. We got black male. You know, that's supposed to be negative. And then you got men walking around, and what are they? Black males. You understand what I'm saying? So some of y'all don't even catch that shit, because when they try to, man, see, listen, when somebody try to get over on your ass and play your ass for some bullshit, that's called blackmail. See? It's a lot of shit, man. It's negative as fuck, and people keep holding on to it because at the end of the day, you can't give that shit no light. You can't give that shit no meaning. You got to take away from that shit. You got to start believing in your own shit and you have to stop passing down bullshit ass shit. If that was told to you, and the first thing you do is try to go out and have a child that don't look like you from somebody that ain't in your community, so you trying to make sure you don't say that shit when you could have a black child and not say that shit, is what I'm saying. See, a lot of y'all niggas won't even admit this shit, that you go out of your way to make sure that you don't have a child that's dark as you or darker. Now, if you do it on accident or you just fall in love with somebody, okay, that's different. But I'm talking about niggas that's actively making sure they don't even date someone in the realm of what they are. They ain't even looking in that direction. And could be attracting them too. But they choose not to. And that's a choice. That starts in your mind. A choice starts in your mind. And then once you get to the point where it's reactive, you know what I mean? Now you ain't got to think about it. It's just, yeah, you ain't my type. Or how did you say the shit? Whatever. Because some motherfuckers, man, and there's women out there like that too. There's women out there that would never look at me because I'm black. And they black too. They would never look at me, no matter how successful, no matter how beautiful, no matter how anything, whatever the fuck you want to say, whatever they looking for, whatever that quality is they looking for. I could be everything that they looking for, but they would never fuck with me just because of that and that only. And that has to be dissected. Now, there are people that will say that shit. Oh, nah, I would, but they not. You know, and it's, we can blame it on the news, but, you know, you don't have to believe that shit. You know, I've walked into places and I've seen white people clutch their shit and turn around and conversation style, white man think I want his girl. Nigga, I don't want your motherfucking bitch. I'm not here for that shit. I'm just here to goddamn go grocery shopping, nigga. I'm here to get my beer, whatever the fuck I'm walking into. And I might be one of only 2, maybe 3 black people. I've seen that shit, man. My own fucking eyes. I've been through that shit. And it's funny as fuck to me because that's the type of nigga I am. I can laugh because I'm like, y'all motherfuckers stupid. Now, if I really wanted to bop you upside your head, first of all, I wouldn't do it this way. See, y'all, man, it's funny how people see your ass and they just, because of some bullshit they heard, they believe it. See, and that's the bullshit we have to work on. All of us. Shit. At the end of the day, these conversations need to be had because y'all got kids and racism ain't went no fucking where. It ain't going no fucking where. If the Klan's still alive and breathing and marching and fucking making laws and passing law, you know, man, get the fuck out of here, man. Y'all need to see, and some of y'all don't find out until it's too late. And I would like to have that conversation too. For the ones that actually been through it, like it really changed your mind. Like you was out here living one way, thinking, oh, okay, I can only fuck with, I don't even fuck with niggas that look like me. And then you found out that that wasn't a good move. Because people would tell you. I know niggas that don't fuck with white girls. And she said some racist shit. What the fuck do you do? That's what I mean. Like, okay, so now we here. Now, a slave-minded ass nigga gonna keep fucking with her. He gonna like that shit. Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, I be your nigga. And then she gonna treat you like one for real in public and around her family, and then you gonna feel stupid as shit. Or you just gonna be that bullshit ass nigga. You gonna be that sideshow ass, dancing ass, character ass. And some of y'all motherfuckers like that part. Some of y'all was born for that shit, I guess. Don't get paid for it though. You don't get no benefit. But you was born for that bullshit. That sideshow ass shit. Now I don't agree with Umar and shit all the way. Some of the shit he talk about I agree with, but as far as that, I can't sit here and say can't nobody date outside their race. I understand the benefits of staying within your community, but I can't sit here and say should no black man, should no white man, should no black man, should no black woman date a white man or a white woman. I'm not gonna say that shit. Because at the end of the day, do what the fuck you want to do, have fun, live your fucking life. But if you, again, only doing that shit because you don't fuck with yourself or your people or where you come from, and you want to be the only nigga there, yeah, you got a problem. There's some niggas that want to be the only nigga in their space. They don't want to see no other black people. What the fuck kind of shit is that? Who the fuck? Okay. You get what you ask for. It's funny when niggas move into a neighborhood, right? And white people move the fuck out. And then black people go follow them to the next neighborhood they move to. Nigga, they trying to get away from you. Niggas be chasing them motherfuckers. Okay, so where they at now? Man, get the fuck, man. Y'all niggas is funny as fuck, man. That's that. Whew. That's that, man. Well, y'all already know what it is. See, we got to start looking at shit, man. Y'all niggas got to stop it. Y'all got to stop it. If these motherfuckers don't want to be around you, stop chasing them. Man. And they know who I'm talking about. This ain't for everybody. This is just for the ones that know. You know what I'm trying to tell you? It's just... Listen, man, I can give you so many examples, and I am. But not just all at one time. I'm about to cut this shit short. I only wanted to keep it light. But again, man, we got to start checking ourselves. Because we saying and doing too much bullshit. This your boy super fucking villain, man. I'm gonna keep hitting y'all on top of y'all fucking head with this rawness. Now, like, subscribe, comment, because I need to know how y'all thinking out here. We need to have some conversations and get some shit. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. We got to put some shit together. We got to put some things together. We got to end some fucking cycles in 2020 fucking 6. If you with me, let me know. Yeah.